Hello, everyone, and welcome to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. We're glad you're tuned in. We want to give a shout out to our friends at Southern Oregon PBS, KTVL, KDRV, and the Dove Network. Thank you for hosting us on your station. In the Medford School District, we have one shared vision, and that we believe that all are learning, and learning is for all. And what better place to do that than right here on Medford Anywhere Learning TV.
Hi, I'm Zoe Boyles from Oak Grove Elementary, and I teach first grade. So, the first book that I brought today is one called When I Was a Grown Up and Other Poems. And the author is someone named Nicole Hansen with illustrations by Tevin Hansen. Ooh, I hear the same last name. I wonder if they're related. We're going to read a poem today called Animal Parade. Let's check it out. Animal Parade. There are lots of different animals, so I'm having a parade. I'm making all the noises that each one likes to say. Cows go moo, and lions roar, and baby chicks say peep. But what do tall giraffes say when getting leaves to eat? If monkeys ooh ooh ah ah, and pigs say oink a lot, then what do little fishies say when it's really hot? The tiger gives me trouble because I'm not sure what he'd say, but I know that sheep say baa and horses like to neigh. Cats meow and ducks say quack and big dogs like to bark. But what about the rhino or the troublesome aardvark? Donkeys he and haw and roosters cock-a-doodle-doo, but there are lots of animal sounds I don't know how to do. That poem about Animal Parade talked about different sounds that are made. And so I thought it would be really fun to do a science experiment today, or a science exploration, I sometimes call it with my students. But the sound experiment we're going to do today is talking about how sound is made and what sound is. And it only requires a couple tools from your house. Let's look at what supplies I brought with me today. I brought a bunch of different spoons of all different sizes, and I brought some string. And I already cut my string. You're going to see that it's pretty long. Let's see how many hands of mine, my adult hands. One, I'm going to slide that. Two, three. Ooh, it's got a little bend in it. Four, five. It's long. Six. About 7 of my adult hands. And if you have someone at home that can help you, I think it's about 4 feet long. So, what you need to do is cut a piece of string, and we're going to put it underneath the spoon. So, before I get started, let's just talk for a minute about what this experiment is going to do. And so, this experiment is going to teach us about how sound is made. So, we're going to do a little setup for this experiment, and then we're going to do something silly with it. When I do this with my students in class, they look at me like I've gone crazy wackadoo when I tell them what to do. And I tell them, trust me, it's really, really fun. And so, what's going to be kind of unusual is that when I'm teaching you here on TV, I can't let you use my supplies to actually do the experiment. So, the only way that you're going to be able to trust me and know that there's something cool that happens is if you try it at home. And so, you're going to hear not very much through the TV, but if you do it for yourself, you're going to hear something amazing come through your ears. So, I encourage you that after I show you how to do this experiment, that you take some time at home and you do this super easy, fun activity with your family. Okay? So let's look back down at our supplies, and I'm going to show you how we get our setup going. So I put the spoon over my string, and now all I need to do is tie this into a little knot. Now, I know that tying shoes is a really big skill that my first graders are learning, but some of them have it and some of them don't know it yet, and they're working on it. So if you need help taking this making this little knot, you can ask an adult at home. Now, it doesn't have to be a true knot. I just tied it once, and I know that when I'm holding the string, that's going to hold the spoon up okay. My spoon also has it gets gradually bigger. So I know that it's not going to slide off if I put it right there on the edge. If you need to make it more secure, you can tie a whole knot, and you can use any different kind of string. I happen to have this nylon white string, and you can also experiment with different size spoons too. I'm starting with my biggest one. So let's look at what we will be doing with the spoon itself. So I have my spoon tied around the string, and now I'm going to do something kind of crazy. This is the part where my students say, "Really, Mrs. B?" You are going to let your spoon kind of hang down a little bit. Make sure the string is tight enough that you're holding that spoon. And my spoon might disappear on camera for just a minute, and that's okay. It's because I want to show you what I'm doing with the string up here. So you're going to take part of the string and you're going to wrap it gently around your fingers a few times. Now, be mindful of how that feels on your body. And if it doesn't feel safe or it feels too tight, please make sure to get an adult's help or stop doing it altogether. Okay, so you want to make sure that your spoon is roughly in the middle. It's okay if it's not perfect. And what you're going to do now is this. Watch. Ooh, I'm going to put my fingers in my ears. It kind of reminds me of like when somebody doesn't want to listen and they say la 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 la. All right, but you're not really doing that. So stick your fingers in your ear. Your string is wrapped around your fingers, and you're going to stick those fingers in your ear. And now here's the kind of crazy part. You're going to let your spoon hang down so it's not really touching you, and you're going to bonk it against something hard. Watch me do it. Oh my goodness. You could not hear what I heard, but it was amazing. I can't wait for you to try this at home. What's really incredible is sound is made by something called vibrations. And those vibrations, when we do this experiment and the spoon bonks against something hard, the vibrations travel through the string. I know. Like they go up the string, they make the string vibrate. And because I'm holding it in my ears, those vibrations go all the way into my ear. And the sound travels into my ear and I hear something. Now, you might have heard the bonk sound of the spoon against this table, but trust me, that is not the sound that I heard in my ears. The sound that I heard in my ears was glorious. And I'll tell you what it was like. It was kind of like one of those really big gongs. It's like those big metal gongs, and they have a mallet and they go gong. And it makes this really incredible sound that does what we call reverberate. Reverberate means that the sound doesn't just go and stop, it keeps going. It reverberates. So if you want to learn that new word, here's my motion for it. Reverberates. It keeps moving forward. So that sound, when I bonked the spoon, it vibrated and the sound reverberated into my ear and it made it sound like a gong. Now, here's my challenge for you at home, kiddos, that if you experiment with different size spoons, you will discover something very interesting. Do you want me to give you a hint? They won't all sound the same. There's going to be something different. The tone, how high or low, is going to change depending on what size spoon you are using. Here's another hint. Depending on what you bonk your spoon against, a table or something that's hard and plastic, or something that's big and soft like a pillow, or something that's metal like a chair leg, it's going to make a different sound. So go ahead and get your string and some spoons and have fun experimenting with the science of sound. I'm back with some more poems, and this poem is by my favorite author that writes poetry, and it's Shel Silverstein. This book is called Where the Sidewalk Ends, and it's just one of many books that he wrote with some silly poems. So this is a really sweet one, and it's very short. Did you know that poems don't have a size that they have to be? They don't even have to rhyme. A lot of poems do, and this one does. So let's listen. This poem is called Hug o' War. Kind of sounds like tug o' war. Let's listen. I will not play at tug o' war. I'd rather play at hug o' war. where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. That sounds like a better game than tug of war to me. So we've been checking in with ourself. We have checked in with where we are in the world, and we've checked in with where we are interacting with those of us that have people at home with us. So our brothers and sisters and cousins, and even our moms and dads and aunties and grandmas and grandpas. So we're going to do an activity today that is checking in one more time on how we are talking to those people in our lives because again, I know that it's hard to be around all these people for so long and so much time. We're just not used to it. We're used to getting some breaks from these people. Even if we love them so much, we can still love them and still need some of our different times, like at school and at our different activities. So, we're going to do a little activity today where we talk about what it feels like to maybe forget how to use kind words. And so I brought several supplies today. I brought some paper and I am showing you different supplies that you might have at home that you could use. And I have lots of different kinds and colors of pens and crayons. We won't need all of these supplies for this activity, but you might have some of these tools and want to bring them into you doing this activity at your house. So I brought lots of different colored paper. I brought some what's called cardstock. It's like a thicker paper. And I even brought a piece of scratch paper. And scratch paper just has something random on one side. And that's not the side we need. We want to use the blank side. So that's actually the paper that I'm going to use today. And I will show you, I am going to draw. I think I'm going to use crayons today, but I could have chosen any one of these tools. I am going to draw something on here that I will hold up to show you. And this is my friend Carlos. Oh, I should give him a little face. Let me give him a little face. And here's Carlos. And now I call this a quick pick. So a quick pick means something that is not perfect and it might not have all the detail, but that is A-OK. So this is Carlos. I can tell that he's a person. He's got a head, he's got a face, he's got arms, a body, and some legs. Now, let's pretend at home that Carlos is someone that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. So maybe that's your brother, or maybe it's a sister, or maybe it's a cousin or an auntie. Maybe it's a neighbor that your mom watches while their mom goes to work. So think of someone in your life that you have to share things with, or sit next to when you eat, or play video games next to, okay? And so for me, I'm going to picture that this is one of my boys at my house, and I'm going to pretend that I'm my other son Jack. So this is maybe Charlie to me, and I'll pretend that I'm Jack today. But you at home pretend that my little Carlos is someone that's in your life. Now, you might be having a fine day. So we're going to play pretend in our world and pretend that we wake up in the morning. Oh, and there's Carlos, and there he is standing by the side of your bed. And that kind of bugs you because when you wake up, you're a little bit grumpy. But so instead of saying, Carlos, can you please leave me alone for a minute? You say, get out of my room. Oh, let's see what starts to happen to Carlos. Oh, look what I did there. Now, Carlos leaves your room and he feels a little bit bad because he didn't know that you were going to be kind of grumpy when you woke up. So he goes to get some breakfast. And you leave your room and you go to get breakfast and you discover that Carlos finished the last of the crunch berries and you were looking forward to having the last of those crunch berries. So you are mad. And so you said, Carlos, those were my crunch berries. Oh my gosh, you yelled at Carlos. Look at how he's starting to feel now. And so Carlos is not feeling that great. And so he decides to try to leave you alone. And when he goes to play with the Hot Wheels cars. And the Hot Wheels cars, there's some really fast ones, and there's some dump trucks and some diggers and some different kinds of vehicles there. But you were really looking forward to playing with those diggers. And he was using the diggers. And so you say, instead of saying words to him, maybe you grab that digger out of his hand and you run away with it. And Carlos is left feeling not so great. Look at poor Carlos. Oh, man. And by the end of the day, so many not kind things or not kind actions have been put against Carlos that this is how he's feeling. If we could put words to this picture, to this crumple that I did, what words would you put to that crumpled paper? I might put sad. I might put lonely. I might say disappointed or scared or angry or upset. There's a lot of feeling words that we could put to how Carlos might feel at the end of his day. Now, maybe Carlos goes to sleep like that. Poor Carlos. And in the morning, you wake up feeling pretty bad about how Carlos maybe went to sleep. And so, first thing the next morning, you go and find Carlos and you give him a hug. You say, "May I please give you a hug?" And you give him, and he says, "Yes, you may." And that starts to straighten Carlos out a little bit. And maybe just having a nice night of sleep straightens him out a little bit more. And then later, you say, "Carlos, do you want to play Hot Wheels with me?" And so you both pull out the Hot Wheels and you say, "I got the construction vehicles yesterday. Do you want to play with them today?" And Carlos says, "Thank you. That makes me feel so much happier." And so by the end of Carlos's day, you've done what's called repair, and you've been really kind and used nice words and shared. And so here's Carlos again. Let's see what he looks like. There's Carlos. I can see his head again, and I can see his arms and his body and his legs. But you know what I notice? Carlos is still kind of wrinkly. Why do you think Carlos is still kind of wrinkly? Yeah, it's because those are the words or the actions that happened yesterday. And so, even though you smoothed out as much as you could and you apologized, you said sorry, does he still remember that you said those words to him? Yeah. So we have to remember that when we are so close together during these times of social distancing, it's hard and it can be a challenge to be interacting with the others in our world. But we want to do a check in with ourselves and with our minds and our words and how we're interacting with others and making sure that we're being the very kindest selves that we can be. And if you need to smooth things out and apologize to someone like Carlos, whoever your pretend Carlos was at home, that's a really good idea. You just need to remember that anything that you say or do is still going to leave a little wrinkle on them. And so the best thing that you can do is to think before you say or do something so that you don't have a wrinkle to smooth out in the first place. I hope that this was an interesting lesson to you, and that if you have a Carlos in your life that you know there's a little wrinkle you need to smooth out, you can go and tell him right now, okay? You're brave. I believe in you. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, no. So I just did this lesson about my crinkled Carlos, and right as I was cleaning up, I made a big mistake. Look at this mess I made. I had all these really nice cups of crayons and pens and paper, and I just bumped the table when I was putting Crinkled Charlie away, and everything just went all over the place. Oh, I don't know what to do. I feel kind of frustrated, and I'm getting kind of mad at myself because now I have to clean up this mess, and I had something else I wanted to teach you, but now I have to wait to teach you because I have to clean up the mess. I can't just leave this here. Does this ever happen to you? It was just a mistake. I didn't mean to do it, but now I have to stop and fix it. And it doesn't make it feel better, like knowing that I have to fix it. In fact, I'm starting to feel like I'm going to the red zone. My brain is starting to flip its lid, and I'm feeling mad because now I kind of want to blame someone else, like the table. This table shouldn't have been in the way, and it's the table's fault. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Ugh. All right, time out. This is what they use in sports to take a break. So I'm going to time out because you know what I see? My anger is starting to rise and I can feel my heart. Let me feel it for a minute. Yep, it's starting to bum, 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 bum. It's starting to beat faster. And I know that that means that I'm getting angry and I need to do something quick to cool myself off. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you maybe saw an episode that I got to teach you about mindfulness. And so I'm being mindful right now that I feel my body is changing and I feel tenser and I can see my eyebrows are going down. So I know I'm getting kind of mad. And so I know I need to stop. I need to take my time out and I need to do something to cool off so that I don't have a bigger explosion. Do you ever feel like that sometimes? Like your friend took your toy and you weren't ready to be done with it? Or you have an accident like me. Maybe you spill the milk when you were pouring some cereal. And so all you want to do is scream or blame someone else or yell at them. But what you also need to do is realize, oh, that does not feel good. It doesn't feel good to be mad and it doesn't feel good to yell at someone else. In fact, they'll kind of become a crinkled Charlie if you yell at them, huh? Or a crinkled Carlos, sorry. And so, what I need to do is stop and maybe just look at what the mess is, and maybe I can solve it. I can solve it by myself, and maybe an adult doesn't even have to help me. So, let's look at what I have to fix. So, I already picked up my cups because I knew that there was stuff in my cups. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put my cups to the side here because I know that there were things that went in the cups. So I think what I need to do is kind of get organized. And so I know that I had my big pens in here. So I'm going to start by just picking up the big pens. Because if I try to pick it all up, I might just make another mess again. So, all right, I see my purple pen. Oh, here's two together. That makes it easier. Oh, it's kind of easy with these big pens because they're right on top. And oh man, there's a lot of little stuff here that's going to be much harder. But oh, and now they're starting to roll off the table. Oh, okay, but I can do this. I got this. I'm capable. And okay, one pen at a time. I'm trying not to go too fast because that'll make them just go crazy again. Okay, I got my big pens. Okay, wow, wait. That was kind of easy. That one's done. Okay. I'm making progress. That means I'm getting there. I'm making some work on this. Okay. This one had these kind of skinny pens. So let me see. Oh yeah, here is like the little skinny pens. Oh, here are crayons. Oh, I'm not ready to do the crayons yet. Okay, hold on. I don't have to go fast. I'm not in a hurry. So, okay, one pen at a time. I'm capable, I'm smart, I'm strong. Sometimes I like to tell myself these things because, oh no, okay, it's okay. The lid just fell off. Let me push it on there. That way it doesn't dry out. Okay, that was good because maybe that pen wasn't on secure enough and it would have fallen off later. So now I'm going to check the lids as I put them on. Oh, good. Now I feel kind of good about myself. Now I'm doing a really good job because I'm making sure that my pens are good for the next time I want to use them. Oh no. Okay. One fell off the table. I can get that later. That's okay. And this tipped over, but luckily, they didn't all fall out. So I did it. I did it. Okay, I'm still making really good progress. And just a few more to go, I can see here. I'm going to kind of hold my pens. I'm trying to be smart about how I do this so that I don't make the mess bigger again. I'm almost done with my pens. Wow, this is getting easier. And, I think staying organized with my cleanup is really helping. I didn't try to just do it all at once and make a bigger mess because I think that would have made my heart start beating faster and my my breath start going too fast too. So there we go. I did it. Okay. Now I have one cup of big pens and one cup of the skinny pens. Hey, this part looks really easy now. All I have is the crayons, so I can even pull my cup closer so that way I don't have to move so much. So now my cup is really close. Okay, this is easy. And it makes that fun clicky sound as they go in. Listen, I kind of like that sound. All right, I'm almost done. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh, I kind of made it into a game. Hey, I got it all cleaned up, and now all I have to do is stack this paper. Look at me. I'm feeling really proud of myself right now because I made a mess, but I got to fix it all by myself. And so when you are starting to feel frustrated with yourself or you make a mistake and you didn't mean to, you want to blame the table or you want to blame your little brother, just remember, you know what? I am capable, I am smart, I am strong, I can do this. It might take a little bit of time. I might have to time out whatever activity I was doing, but in the end, I feel really accomplished. That means I feel really good about the job that I did and the task that I performed. I hope the next time that you're maybe starting to feel tense and angry, that you remember to take a deep breath and check in with your body, check in with your surroundings, and you're able to problem solve to fix what the mistake was. Good luck. All right, kiddos. Well, I have another little poetry break for you today, and this is with another new poetry book that I haven't used yet. So let's take a look and see what I'm going to read to you today. This book is called It's Raining Pigs and Noodles, and it is by a poet named Jack Prelutsky, and the drawings are by someone named James Stevenson. Let's look at what poem I picked for us today. I thought it would be really fun to just read a silly, goofy, crazy poem. So this poem is called Purple Orangutans. Now, if you don't know what an orangutan is, sometimes people call them orangutans, but it's an orangutan. And here it is. It's like a kind of ape. Sometimes we call them monkeys. So picture a purple ape. Purple orangutans hurtle through space. Silvery unicorns gallop in place. Onions run races with noodles and spoons. Monkeys emerge from enormous cocoons. Turtles wear sweaters and pickles wear wigs. Talking tomatoes give lectures to pigs. Peanut-sized elephants flutter their wings. Cantaloupes dance as a pineapple sings. Bison ride bicycles, tigers fly kites, pelicans flicker their myriad lights. Feathery fishes float high in the air, radishes wash their luxurious hair. Rabbits and parrots play tag in the stars, marshmallows march in the meadows of Mars. These are a few of the wonders I find in the magic museum I keep in my mind. I love that poem. I think it's just so silly and fun. If you're feeling silly and fun, you can write your own words. It doesn't have to be anything real. It's the museum that you keep in your mind, and it can be as magical as you make it. Have fun. Thanks for coming for Medford Anywhere Learning TV. I had so much fun learning with you today. I hope you had fun with silly poems and making messes and learning about sound. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for tuning in to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. Medford School District is a place where all are learning, and learning is for all.